Wahaha! Welcome back to FANGTOBER. Today we're working on day number 28, and today's theme is jewels, and this piece kind of developed the more I worked on it. So I had this general idea that I had sketched out in my sketchbook, but I really didn't know what concept, outfit, just general idea I wanted to go for. I knew I wanted a vampire with a very large jewel necklace, and I wanted her to be surrounded by jewels that maybe she had collected on her travels or during her long life or something. But as I started to draw it, I also put a crown on her head because I thought it was cool. But as I started to draw and figure this out and this outfit, I kind of leaned a little bit more toward a vampire pirate, a vampirate, if you will. And it's actually kind of a weird thing, but something I'd really like to do a story on eventually, comic. I don't know if that's the word I would use, but it's been an idea that I've been mulling around for a long time. But anyway, I really liked the idea of a vampirate. Now at first she was going to be just a princess or something, super weird. That's definitely not my style. But the more I drew her clothes and stuff, I was yeah, she has to be a vampirate. Another thing I was actually going to do was make her necklace that's on her chest a trapped soul, and I guess you can imagine that it is a trapped soul in there, because I put a little skull on it. But I just really love the idea that she's a pirate, and she's basking in her conquests. I don't know, I really like the idea the more I think about it. Also, please excuse the very sorry excuse for a gun that is on her leg. I'm terrible at drawing guns, and I'm not even gonna lie about it. I didn't even try. I didn't even use a reference. I just kind of went with it. So it is a bit of a sorry excuse for a gun, but that's okay because it gets the point across. But I do really like this piece, and I'm glad it kind of developed on its own because I really like the way it ended up turning out. So I did a little bit of cheating, as you can kind of tell. And I say cheating very loosely because I don't think it's cheating because it just made my life easier. I copy pasted a lot of those jewels and just put them around, because I didn't have time to sit there and draw each individual one out. And I did have to color them all individually for the most part, so in a way I didn't cut out too much of my time. But I've ended up flipping it and doing all that stuff just to make them look a little different. It's the same amount of jewels and coins that are there, but they're flipped so they don't look exactly the same across the piece. With this piece, I also decided not to do a lot of shading. I had already spent a really long time on this piece, and I didn't have time because I have other things to do, as you do as a normal human being. And so I just decided to, at first I was only going to flat color it. I did end up adding some shading, just really basic, almost really loose shading to it. I used a watercolor brush, which I really liked, so I'm kind of glad I did that. And with the jewels, I didn't add any shading to them outside of, I did a highlight on some of them, and then I added a drop shadow, which was literally just me taking this layer, using a clipping mask to make it black, and then blurring it out a little bit. It was super simple, super easy, but, I'm really glad I did it because it adds just a little bit of depth. And then I did add a little bit of a red background in the back just to kind of pull the piece together so it doesn't look like she's floating in the air. I was gonna put some kind of floor that she's laying on, but I decided not to. And if you do get this book and you color it and you do make a ground or something, I'd really like to see that because I want to see what your imagination brings to this. I'm really excited, speaking of coloring book, for the Kickstarter. It starts in just a few days. Oh my gosh! It starts on November 1st, if you didn't know. And I'm really excited. We've got some really fun rewards, and I've got some really fun stretch goals planned. So if we do hit our goal and then we go over, I'm really excited to be bringing some extra stuff to you guys. So this piece, like I said, it actually took me a while. I want to say it took upwards of 3 hours, probably more than that. Just because the coloring, each individual piece took a while. I don't know why. I feel like it's being real slow in this background here. I ended up having to do a few different I had to test a few things out, so that's why the background kind of flashes in and out, so I do apologize about that. But I initially wasn't going to do darker jewels, but I decided that it needed a little bit of contrast in the back because it really didn't have much. The darkest gray I had used was mainly on her legs, and it wasn't like a lot, if you ask me anyway. So I decided that the background needed some darker jewels. However, when I put the red in the background, it kind of made them not so dark. So I don't know. I still really like the piece, and I think it works for what I was going for. So I'm really pretty proud of it. So we are coming up to the end of the piece, and I just want to thank you all so much for watching and sticking around. We're almost done. We've got 3 pieces left. I'm very excited, and I'm just really happy to have done all of these. Look forward to the Kickstarter coming soon. I will have a video, and I will be linking to that soon enough. And yeah, I hope you guys are all staying as safe and healthy and happy as you can. I hope that you're all having a squidoodly awesome day, and I love you guys so much. I just want to thank you for hanging out with me because I really appreciate it. If you're not already part of our cute squid pod, there's a subscribe button down below and a bell so you can get notified on new uploads. Also, don't forget, I have social media in the description below. And until next time, which is tomorrow, my adorable squidlings, toodaloo!